Can you say something about not wanting to leave partner behind and the apparent relationship that feels so familiar even though it's dead? How to let go of that? Mind runs away from the non-personalness of the freedom and back to familiar. Yeah, this is the nature of the mind, which is really tricky, because the nature of a mind is to go from one thing to another thing, from one thing to another thing. So when it comes to something like decision making, it can really get in a muddle about decision making, because it thinks my happiness is in leaving my partner, my freedom is in leaving my partner, and then my freedom is in staying with my partner. So it keeps going from one to the other and oscillating between them both. And it makes up reasons as to why it's good to stay with the partner, and then it makes up reasons why it's good to leave the partner. And it keeps trying to find the right answer. Which one is right? And I can't suggest which one is right. That's something that needs to be explored. And really, non-duality isn't here to give you the answers to whether you should leave someone or shouldn't. It's remembering who you are. And as there's a remembering of who you are, then the character will become more and more balanced in time. And it will make more and more balanced choices and decisions. And when I say balance, what I mean is they're not this desperate search to try to find happiness when you leave the partner, or desperate search to find happiness in the partner. Because when there is that desperate seeking to find freedom and to find home in something, then it always complicates that something. It always makes it too important. So your partner isn't home. What's home is non-duality, is this consciousness, this alive presence that's nothing and everything. And that's really what everybody's looking for. Everybody is looking for this presence. But the separate self, it believes, it doesn't even know it believes it, but it's unconsciously, this energy is always looking for it in circumstance. So with being with the partner, without being with the partner, and it goes backwards and forwards, which one's right, which one's wrong. So my belief is that as you become more still, the illusory you becomes more still, and that presence becomes more obvious, and that consciousness becomes more obvious, then the choices and what is wanted, the natural flow of that character will become more obvious. It doesn't mean that the results will always be pleasurable. It doesn't mean that the results will make other people happy, or that they'll always be successful. But it means that the character will be more in line with its natural way of being. Life is always one way and the other, pleasure and pain, and you're going to make good choices which lead to lots of pleasure, and you're going to make what we call bad choices which lead to pain. But when the character is in more flow with itself, and you'll feel more in line with yourself, and the character will feel more in line. When there's strong identification, the character feels very unbalanced, going from one idea to the other, and it just feels unbalanced. So as there's more stillness, and it's seen that you are that stillness, that alive presence, then the character feels less out of line. Like worrying about whether it's a right choice or a wrong choice, or it will just feel more right. But I can't promise you that it will lead to only pleasure. My experience is life is normally half and half, half pleasurable, half painful. So sometimes the choices are good, sometimes the choices aren't so good. It's not about becoming a perfect person. Life is as it is.